Acorn Media has created a place to talk about politics in a way that promotes civil discourse with truth and respect. This is In the Arena. I'm Phillip Britt, your host. I'm honored to be joined by Wes Howard, candidate for Stoddard County Associate Commissioner for District 2. Wes Howard, welcome to In the Arena.
Thank you, Phillip.
Oh,
glad to have you having me here.
Absolutely. This is a great opportunity to have you here. First of all, our viewers want to know who Wes Howard is. So tell us about yourself, who you are, how you got here.
Yeah, so obviously name is Wes Howard, and I'm a 1996 graduate of Dexter High School. I have a wife named Bonnie. We've been married for 25 years. I have 3 kids. Kaylee Foster now. She's married to Owen Foster. I have a son, Jackson Howard. He'll be a senior at Dexter High School. And then I have a son, Grant Howard. He's going into the 2nd grade. So that's a little bit about my family. After I graduated, I went on to Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas, and I studied in the School of Business there. My major was business management, and feel very fortunate to have been able to attend there. It was a great environment, and they provided a good education. Got to move back home. Very grateful for that. Got to move back home, and I think it was about 2003, and back here to Stoddard County, and we live in Dexter. I was able to start my first business, Howard Custom Spraying, and I ran that business for 8 years, I believe. I custom applied pesticides for farmers, and so got to know a lot of great farmers and good people in and around the ag community in that business. And then after that, I had a small stint in the insurance business. I got my property and casualty license, I believe it was in 2011, and I worked through countywide insurance there in Dexter and mainly sold crop insurance to farmers. So I'm grateful for that experience and the knowledge I gained there. And then in 2012, I joined my brother in our current business, Heartland Crop Consultants. And he started that business in 2008, but this will be my 13th season as a partner with him. And I'm very grateful for that time. And we've got so many good friends that are farmers now that we get to work with, and we're thankful for those relationships, and we really get to make a living on their shoulders. Yep. Always thought I'd be a farmer, and my dad farmed for many years and didn't get to do that, but this keeps me involved, and sure, I'm thankful for that.
Well, I know for a fact you come from a long line of farmers.
I do.
Yeah, I knew your grandparents on both sides because they lived in my neighborhood in Clarkton when you were born. You were, and hopefully nobody in Stoddard County holds that against him.
Yeah, I hope not.
Your mother was, in fact, my kindergarten teacher, one of my favorite teachers for sure. And so I've known you and your family for a long time, and you come from a real strong agriculture heritage for sure. So it's cool that you've gotten to stay in that business, if even not farming.
Absolutely.
So a little bit about us. We created this show 3 years ago. We called it In the Arena because there's a very famous speech given by President Theodore Roosevelt after he left office in Paris, where he said, it's not the critic who counts, not the one who basically points out how the strong man stumbles. The credit goes to the man who's in the arena. Now it's the man or woman, obviously, who's in the arena. The person who's actually willing to get in there and fight and work. So today it seems like so many people just want to sit back and throw stones. They get behind their keyboard or their, on their phone, and they just get on social media and they just spout off all kinds of stuff. A lot of them aren't involved even to the point of voting, much less actually putting themselves out there to be engaged and involved. So we invite people onto this show who are willing to be in the arena, whether it's putting their name on the ballot or working for other candidates, but being engaged and involved, like you. Now, I understand it's the first time you've done that.
It is.
So tell us, what made you here in 2024 decide to enter the arena and put your name on the ballot?
So it's something that I've really thought about for a long time. I think that there's a point probably where I was thinking about it. I always knew I'd want to get involved and give back to our community. But I think there's somewhat of an age stigma involved sometimes, and maybe in my younger years I didn't think maybe people would take me serious, or I wasn't qualified enough, or didn't have enough experience. But as time went on, it was, last year I started thinking about it, and in January I really got serious about it. And so it just, I want to give back to our community more than anything. I have no axes to grind. I think I'm qualified through my education and my background, and just want to be a good public servant, and hope to inspire others also to step forward that are qualified in doing so. I want my kids to see that, sure, what leadership is. Really, that's what's driven it, is just my entire family lives in Stoddard County. Not only my family, but my parents live in Stoddard, my brother and his family, my sister and her family, and actually all of us in District 2. Mm-hmm. So I'm really just genuine about wanting our area to be successful and wanting the best for our county.
So tell me, why county commissioner? Why did you? There are lots of opportunities to get in the arena. Mm-hmm. Why did you choose this at this time?
I think county commissioner fits best with my education. At Harding, being a business management major, I learned a lot in that. There's a lot wrapped up in that, sales and marketing and finance and accounting and employee management, all those economics and business law. I mean, I can go on and on, all those things that are wrapped up in that major. And when I look at the county commissioner position, I just think that, the county is a business. And I've done well in my small businesses that I've managed. I've done a good job with those. Try to be as humble as I can talking about that, but we're here to, I guess, talk about me. So I'll say it as humble as I can, but I've done well managing those and managing employees, my budgets, my sales. And what I do, really, sales is selling my knowledge and selling myself. So I've got some experience in a lot of areas, and I just think that county commissioner really fits what my background is more than anything else.
Good. No, that's a great answer, and I agree with you, because one of the most important things that the county commission does is focus on the budget that each of those departments
absolutely
has, and not just budgeting once a year. No. In January, but keeping everybody on their budget throughout the year. So it's your first time on the campaign trail. Tell me what you've learned on the campaign trail. I'm curious as to what you've learned from people, like what are people interested in, but also what have you learned kind of about yourself out there on the campaign trail?
Probably I've learned the most about people. Mm-hmm. We, in our current situation in our country, it seems to be so much division preached, but you learn a lot when you're out on the campaign trail, really, that more people want to come together than you've ever realized. Mm-hmm. Or not ever realized, but what you realize in recent times, because it's division is preached so much. Mm-hmm. For the benefit of one side or the other. And so I've learned probably that more than anything. Democrats, Republicans, either one, whatever you claim to be, independents. I've gotten many hugs from Democrats, and I'm, running on the Republican ticket, and I'm a Republican, and many handshakes and hugs have come from Democrats. So I think everyone wants the same thing. I think people want good people that, love each other and are just wanting to serve, and I think people can sense that, your heart and where your intentions lie. So that's probably what I've learned the most of.
I like that, because it seems to me, and that's why we do this. We want people to know who you are, and know who all the candidates are, but we want to promote civility.
Absolutely.
As opposed to what the media puts out there. I think the media is as responsible for a lot of the division as the actual participants are.
I agree 100%.
Because it sells.
It does.
When we can fight and argue and everything, that it sells. And several years ago, I had the opportunity to take a trip through the State Department to Israel and Palestine. This was back when there was actually a chance for peace. This was in 2000. And what we found was the governments didn't want peace, but the people did. The people cared for each other. They loved each other. They had no animosity toward each other, or very little, but the governments, the people in charge, for whatever reason, couldn't get along, and still today can't get along. Now they're actually at war. And so my fear is that that this gets pushed so far that we wind up with some kind of violence. We just saw the situation with former President Trump, and so, my fear is that continues and just grows. So that's why we want to do it this way. We want to do it in a way that promotes people just having conversations, and so that's what we try to do. Has there anything been that surprised you on the campaign trail? Have you been out there meeting people, talking to people?
I don't think I've been very surprised really by anything. I think maybe if anything, it's been on the positive side again. I've been maybe more surprised of how well we've all received each other and gotten along, even us that are running for the same positions. Everyone's been very cordial and kind for the most part to one another. So I think I sort of expected it to be a little bit more divisive, and it hasn't been that. So I'm thankful for that.
Well, that's encouraging to me to see someone who's in the arena for the first time seeing it that way and feeling that way about it. I mean, because a lot of people, obviously, as you mentioned, don't feel that way. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the campaign. We talked a little bit about what that's like. So let's talk. Let's now move to focus on Stoddard County and the job. Okay, we mentioned a little bit about the budgeting process, but what do you see as the most important issues, positively or negatively, facing Stoddard County as we sit here today?
I would say, one of the biggest issues would probably be just safety. I think that, we have potentially Interstate 57 coming through here, before too long. It sounds like, who knows how long that'll be, but it seems like it won't be too far down the road. With that, I think you can have more traffic that's maybe unwanted. At the same time, you can have some economic growth because of it. So there's going to be a little give and take there. And I think with that, we're definitely going to have to do a good job. And I will always support our law enforcement branches, our sheriff's department, our prosecuting attorney's office, and our coroner. That's something I believe very strongly in. Providing them with all the needs that they have to do their jobs very effectively. So I see that as an issue maybe down the road. Currently, we've had a decent amount of crime and things like that in our county as well, but we've done a good job, I feel like, so far, just judging off of the counties around us, at keeping most of that at bay. So I think that could be an increasing issue as time goes on, and we definitely have to make sure we do everything we can to keep those offices supplied with what they need to keep our county safe. I mean, ultimately, I think we can all agree on that we want safe homes, safe county, clean county, good schools, safe schools where we're not worried about our children and our families.
Well, all right. So so I've got one more question for you, and that question is, if you're fortunate enough to be elected at this primary election in August 6th, you won't have an opponent in November, so you'll take office last of December, 1st of January. So what are your plans? If you're elected and you take over in January as the new county commissioner, what are your plans the first day and then into that first term?
Sure. So my plans would be, obviously, if I was fortunate enough to be elected, to get in the office and try to get my head wrapped around the space and see what's going on and what all's involved in the budget and where money's being spent and things like that. I do want to stress this time as well that I live in our district. I think that's very important. And so I want our voters to know that. Me and my entire family live in our district. But also, I would be looking, into the budget, and even in a small sense, like in a micro sense of our budget. I know that our current commissioner, Ms. Gerald, and she has voted, for her own pay increases over the past 3 or 4 years to the tune of 21%. So even small adjustments like that that I can make. I don't know exactly what needs to be structured there, but I do know that that's a tremendous amount in a short amount of time. And I'm not against raises. I know everyone, at times will deserve a raise, but I do think there's small things like that, and we can't claim to be conservative if we're, constantly making those votes for our own pay increases. So that would be one thing I would definitely take a look at, and I will not be, the candidate that will be for that for myself. And again, I won't paint myself in a corner and say that I'll never vote for pay increases, but there's a time and a place for that. But maybe it needs to be structured a little bit differently.
Well, I know that you're one of 3 on that commission, so it's not like you can go in and change everything the first day. And I know it's always a challenge when you're taking over a new position, just to figure out what your daily roles are.
Absolutely.
I've done that in the past, and sometimes it takes weeks sometimes to just figure out how you fit in to the whole process.
Right.
You don't have a lot of time because the budgeting process happens in the month of January. So.
Yeah.
So you will be, you'll hit the ground running. Fortunately for you, the election basically is in August, and so you'll have basically 4 months to figure a lot of that out before you actually take office.
And I'm off a lot of time in the winter with my ag job, so it's going to work well.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm going to give you the last word. Okay. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to look right into that camera right there and talk directly to the people of the 2nd District.
Okay.
Whatever you want to say to them.
All right. Citizens of Stoddard County, I'm asking for your vote August 6th. Again, my name is Wes Howard, and I'm a Christian, conservative, family man with good family values, integrity, hard work ethic, and I promise to be conservative with your tax dollars. I promise to do my best to work hard and always make decisions that will benefit Stoddard County going forward into the future. I live in our district again, and I would appreciate your vote on August 6th. Thank you.
Thank you, Wes. We're glad to have had you on.
Thank you, Phillip. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you to Wes Howard, candidate for Stoddard County Associate Commissioner, District 2. Don't forget to vote August 6th in the primary.